Yo,
Yeah.
what's
We're,
up?
we're here. We're alive. What is going on? Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, we'll get people on the schedule. 8:30 Wednesday nights. We're gonna do fantasy suckers. I kind of
Eight
feel
30 ish. We aim for
yeah.
8:30. It doesn't always happen, but
You know what? We were right here live at 9. So
yeah,
you
better
know,
late than never.
absolutely. You know what?
Happy NBA season, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to talk. We're gonna, I get to talk about that tomorrow with PJ. Because we love our basketball. Based off the hue of our skins, we're very dark people, so we love basketball first. But we're here to talk about fantasy football. We are the fantasy suckers. We make horrible decisions when it comes to fantasy, but we are as deep into fantasy as it goes. Going 15, as long as fantasy's been going, we pretty much been playing it. That's pretty much as I could see it. And
if we were old enough to do it, we've been doing it since we were born.
Yeah. I mean, we as I'm saying, we were alive before fantasy football existed, and when it started, we were all in. And unfortunately, we haven't given up on it. So, if anybody has questions for us, we are willing to give you some type of advice. No advice is perfect advice. You can go to the Matthew Berries and all the fantasy experts, and they'll give you wrong advice every week. But if you need just reassurance, you going with your gut, and we can tell you your gut is right. You're at the right plot. You're at the right spot. So actually, for us, we've been in the fantasy league for about 15 years. I'm sorry to say this. I forgot to already introduce. My name is Johnny, and this is my co-host here, Twan. Rate, review, subscribe, go to the page, give us comments, tell us what he's like and all that good stuff. What's up?
So in those let's say 15 years of this league, how many of you come out on top?
I have never won, and this makes me sad.
Well, your time shall be soon, sir. It probably won't be this year, but it shall be soon.
It could be this year. I mean, you know what? I'm on a I look a couple of weeks ahead. I'm always looking for waiver wire, like things like before other people, I don't like to get caught up in having the best position, in the waiver wire. Like, okay, hopefully this guy, he's the new hot person. Let me pick him up. I probably should have done that for what's the dude? Pierce for the Texans.
Oh, I drafted him.
Oh, that's right.
I drafted him knowing that I was going to stash him for later.
My bad. I'm sorry. I
did some research. I did some research.
Look, that is the exact opposite of what I did was not show up to the draft on time and miss all of my picks. I'm a little happy.
You were on the other side of the country thinking, oh, it's a 1:00 Pacific time.
I'm a silly goose. I'm a silly goose. But I think
the reason why I said that this won't be your year is because we're facing off with each other this week. And both of us were 2-4.
But we're 2-4.
This is where one of us turns our season around. All right.
Well, absolutely. I personally, I believe I've been robbed a couple weeks in a row. Last week I got a simple one. This week I'm an underdog, and I need some things to happen for me to beat you, sir. So
you're actually an underdog this week.
Yeah, I'm an underdog, man. So I need some shit to go right. I've been, thinking about maybe a waiver wire pickup that might help. I'm about to start Curtis Samuel. I just think it would be hilarious for him to have a great game against you. It would just be funny.
No.
One of your favorite players.
Speaking of Curtis Samuel here, so for those of you watching on YouTube, you guys don't know, I'm a huge Panther fan. You can see my background, Bank of America Stadium.
Tell by the back.
You can tell now if you didn't know before. But earlier this past week, Robbie Anderson had a little fucking temper tantrum on the sideline, and I was like, man, why the hell did we give this guy a 2-year, $30 million extension? I don't know why. And I was like, at that time when it happened, I was like, watch, this is going to come back to bite us in the ass, and we should have re-signed Curtis Samuel instead. And look what we should have did. Re-signed Curtis Samuel. But
absolutely. I mean, still though, signing Curtis Samuel wouldn't have made y'all. Wouldn't have been like y'all be 4-2 all of a sudden.
No, but he is the better receiver. He's the better gadget player, the one that would better fit our offense. Because like right now, all we're doing is throwing screens and slants or like balls that barely go past the line of scrimmage. So
yeah, you're playing as if you're the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo, but you just don't have the same.
He's a poor man, Deebo Samuel. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, which makes me a little annoyed as being a Commanders fan. I really am.
Wait. What? Are you back on the Commander train?
No,
after last week you said
they're my East Coast team. Let's call it that. They're my NFC team. Okay, I'm all in.
About to say the East Coast team.
They're. You're right. Yeah, the Bills are the East Coast too. Go East Coast, but my NFC team is what I don't know. I always, because of basketball, I always think about East West. Yeah, I'll say my NFC team would be the Commanders. I'll pay attention to them because it's just a little bit of history. But I can't. I'm never gonna buy a jersey or a ticket, or I can't really financially ever support them again. I might watch them a couple of times, but anyway, yeah. So like with them, and his stock might go up with Taylor Heineke. I'll start with that. Carson Wentz is out. He is a decent streaming quarterback based off the defenses, but Terry
McLaurin is going to eat. McLaurin is going to eat. I'll just say that. I don't care who the hell you guys are playing this week. Start him. Start Terry McLaurin this week. That's bad advice coming from me, by the way.
I mean, okay, well, yeah, I would definitely say start Terry McLaurin. I mean, he's their best. He's the best receiver, and Taylor Heineke definitely looks at him. He didn't have Curtis Samuel last year. He's still going to be down Jahan Dotson. Hopefully Logan Thomas will be back, but Heineke's still working with a makeshift line. All I can say is that I believe that Heineke is more mobile.
He definitely is more mobile.
Yeah. And he might not have as big as bigger arm, but with his feet, he makes.
Oh, he has a pretty big arm. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Heineke has a big enough arm. I don't think here's why. I think Carson Wentz has a big enough arm. He just has a much dumber brain. So like
when he sees, he has a clock in his head where he's like, I have to get rid of the ball within half a second or else I'm dead.
Like I think if Heineke had Carson Wentz's body, we going forward pretty good. if Taylor Heineke was 6'5", had the same attributes, yeah, I think we'd have a good starting quarterback, probably better than Kirk Cousins, a top 5, top 12 type of quarterback. But personally, I wish we would start Sam Howell. Like, to me, that is the only way for Ron Rivera to really save his job. We know what Heineke's going to do. And if for some reason, if we just tread above water and then miss the playoffs, then Ron Rivera is done. Like, he pretty much has to make the playoffs, or him and Jack Del Rio, Scott Turner, they're all going to be gone. And
that's an uphill battle for you guys in the NFC East with everybody way ahead of you guys.
Yeah, and the main reason for one of them is the Giants, who are 5-1. They just had a coaching change. Brian Daboll coming from the Bills, my favorite team. And he came and he turned that whole thing around. Personally, I would love maybe. I got pushback when I asked people. I said, look, hopefully we can fire Rivera and then get Eric Bieniemy. Like, maybe he'd be the answer, but maybe he wouldn't be. We don't know. I love Brian Flores. Now he's the defensive coordinator for the Steelers.
No, he's not defensive coordinator. I think he's the linebackers coach or something
You
like
know
that,
what?
or
You're right.
DB
You're
coach.
right. You're right. He's not even that
But
high
yeah, he
up.
is definitely one of the guys on top of my list as well. I do prefer, like right now, we fired our coach obviously, but as much as I want Steve Wilkes to succeed, I like the guy. But I would prefer for us to go forward with an offensive-minded head coach. After all these years of John Fox, Ron Rivera, it's time for us to flip the boat and go the other direction. Because over the last, I don't know, 5 years, our offense has been probably one of the worst offenses in the league. I think the only time that we really had a good offense was 2015, and that was Cam's MVP season. Even with Olsen and that was pretty much it who Cam had to throw to. But that was the one year where the offense was terrific, and we need a turnaround in that area because our defense is always up there, and we got solid weapons in DJ and CMC, and we need to utilize them to their potential.
Yeah, I mean, if CMC isn't traded, you would definitely want that. But I honestly think before you have time to develop a new quarter, Sam Donald's not the answer. Baker, maybe you like Baker.
Baker is definitely not the answer. Sam, I'm still have hope for because mainly because of the way he started last year, 3-0, before the wheels fell off and he got hurt and we had to re-sign Cam. The reason why is the offensive line right now is a top 10 offensive line in the league per PFF. And also, if he was perfectly fine until CMC got injured during the Dallas game. Once he lost his security blanket, everything fell off. So I want to see him behind that line, protected, with with hopefully a healthy CMC for the rest of the way.
He's on IR.
He just got activated today to return. So they have 3 weeks to get him off IR. But I don't think he'll play this week, but I think he'll play next week.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so there's still hope, and the NFC South is a shit show. It's become the NFC East this year.
Yeah,
the NFC East has been pretty bad the last few years, but this year we're like Tampa is 3-3, Atlanta is 3-3, New Orleans is 2-4, we're 1-5. So we're still in the thick of it. So
it's funny, yeah. Atlanta is actually doing pretty decent, and
they are pretty decent.
Much to my chagrin, I mean, Mariota's not so bad. I think the Falcons are a decent, overall team. And I was actually expecting Mariota to not play this well because somebody that I've been having my eye on since the draft, and I'm gonna probably say him every week. I said him last week. I'm waiting for Desmond Ridder to get in there, and Mariota hasn't played bad enough for him to be put in like Kenny Pickett. Obviously, is going to be better than Trubisky, so might as well put him in there. The only other college or rookie quarterback that I thought had a chance to start this year would be Ridder, other than Bailey Zappi,
Bailey Zappi's been doing it. He's been doing well.
A very good streaming option. Absolutely. So look, let's start out. Let's go to each one of these games. Who you think you would start, sit them. There's going to be definitely some hard matchups, defenses, and offensive players that she shouldn't start this week, and we're going to give our recommendations. Let's start with the Thursday night game, of course. The New Orleans Saints versus the Cardinals. I think, is Jameis Winston back, or is it still Dalton?
I am not 100% sure of that. It might still be Dalton. But let me see real quick. Jameis Winston.
I think it's supposed to be Winston. I think he's finally back. Yeah.
Okay, so it says that he practiced 8 days ago he practiced on Wednesday. He was limited, but he still didn't play last week. So I'm assuming he should be back this week.
Okay, so let's go forward, assuming he's going to play. I mean, if he plays, I might start Winston. I don't know how many people are still out. Like, there's so many people injured.
All their receivers were out last week. Like all their 3 main receivers were out last week. So there's no wonder why they struggled.
You know what? Alvin Kamara, start him. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, there's nobody else. Thomas is injured. Chris Olave is injured, I believe. And then
Jarvis Landry. They've all been hurt.
And it's crazy. So, that's a great wide receiver core.
Yes, it is.
Like,
well, I can't stand the slant king, but
yeah. So definitely just.
But Chris Olave is he's gonna be one hell of a player in this league.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at him for the rest of his career because the Commanders had actually traded out of that and traded back. Jahan Dotson's been playing pretty decent, but that's where they were. They traded back with the Saints, and they could have gotten Chris Olave, and that's who I thought they should have gotten as far as like getting another receiver to pair with McLaurin. But that's remains to be seen. Both of them are injured currently, so yeah, we'll see as years go on. But okay, so for the Cardinals,
do you start Kyler Murray? Has Call of Duty released yet? That's my question.
I don't think it has yet. I think it's gonna be at the beginning.
I think it's soon. I don't think it has yet. So I would say if there is somebody you wanted to start, Kyler Murray would definitely be on that list.
Definitely start Kyler Murray. This is the first game back for DeAndre Hopkins. Not only do they have DeAndre Hopkins.
I totally forgot about that.
Not only do they have DeAndre Hopkins, they got Hollywood Brown, and now they have Robbie Anderson. Like, I'll start Kyler Murray.
Bum.
Robbie Anderson might be a bum, but he's good enough to be a third or fourth go route. Just go your go route and open up things for DeAndre Hopkins. But I'm saying having Robbie Anderson on the team can't hurt.
No, it can't hurt.
It hurts Kyle.
I understand. The guy is super passionate about the game, and all he wants is to be competitive. And I understand sometimes why you have temper tantrums on the sideline, but you don't get coach's face and like basically.
Yeah, I get it.
Threatened to punch him in the face.
It's unfortunate when your passion for the game outweighs the fact that it's a job. Like,
But I think he'll do well in Arizona, but I wouldn't start him this week because he's still learning the offense. But they'll probably have him run like go right.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't need to learn anything to be like go straight to like the top off the defense. So yeah, I would definitely start Kyler Murray this week. Definitely start DeAndre Hopkins. You're starting to worry about Hollywood Brown. Maybe Connor. I think I would start James Conner. I like it. He always is like a red zone threat. So that's it for the Cardinals. Yeah, anybody else?
Maybe Zach Ertz.
Okay, Zach Ertz. He hasn't been, putting up too much noise, but he's a safe, dependable person.
He's been consistent for.
He's consistent. Yeah, it'll get you like 10 points. So, all right, next game: Browns Ravens. Nick Chubb, obviously. You can't.
Nick Chubb, obviously. Lamar, obviously. Mark Andrews, obviously.
Mark Andrews. And I can't say anybody else, man. Like, Amari Cooper is nerfed until Deshaun Watson gets back. And I mean, maybe Devin Duvernay.
Maybe.
But yeah,
Rashad Bateman should be back this week too. So
if it's Bateman, then if Bateman's back, then he's definitely Duvernay is a low end flex. So I mean, I'm not gonna push his name out there too much. Jacoby Brissett, never that. No. So
he has really fallen off over the last couple of weeks after like starting the first 4 games like really well. He was like in the top 10 of quarterbacks.
Yeah, man, he's
fallen off.
He's no Geno Smith. Come on, man.
Geno Smith has been, lights up.
Yeah, he's a must start.
Fire.
So let's go on. Let's go on to your boys, 1-5 versus the Buck. I didn't say anybody else's record, but I said yours. 1-5 versus the Buccaneers, 3-3.
Start Tom Brady.
I'm starting Tom Brady.
Start Mike Evans.
Right, start Mike Evans.
Start Rob Gronkowski. He's going to come off the bench.
I'm actually starting this week against you just because I know it will annoy you. That's my only saving grace is that I know Tom Brady might show out against you specifically, karmically. But I'm starting the backup tight end Otto because I have Dallas Goedert and Tyler Higbee, who are both on bye this week. So
no, unfortunate for you.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
good for me.
I know, and you love tight end. You love tight ends. I got 2 top 10 tight ends, and I just gotta, put them on the bench this week.
Yeah. So yeah, Tom Brady
CMC,
definitely start.
CMC,
Mike Evans. I would also probably start Leonard Fournette.
Possibly Godwin, but flex.
I would flex him.
And the reason I pick those people is because right now we're in the thick of it. We're in the bye weeks, so there's a lot of people that are out. There's the Vikings are out, so there's no Dalvin Cook, no Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry, my fault. That's this week. Yeah, Dalvin Cook is out, and Justin Jefferson. Then there's no Matt Stafford, there's no Cooper Kupp, there's no Higbee, there's in case you have Cam, Akers, other stuff. Anyway, so there's 4 teams out this week. Anyway, so who for the Panthers we start other than CMC?
CMC, obviously.
That's it.
But if we learn anything from last week, the fucking Steelers beat the Bucks. Mitch Trubisky beat the Bucks.
That's true. I mean, I feel like that defense played really well. I don't know. Maybe your defense can play as well as the Steelers.
I do know that the Bucks secondary is sus. Their linebacking core is terrific. So if we can keep them off from getting pressure, I expect the game plan to be a little bit better for PJ this week instead of throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage or 1 yard upfield. I expect DJ to get the ball more, but I wouldn't start anybody other than CMC. But I'm expecting fucking bloodshed on my end. All right.
So you wouldn't start DJ Moore.
I would not start DJ yet.
Okay. I mean,
I would unless they make the surprising statement that they are activating Sam Darnold this week, I am not starting DJ Moore. If it's PJ back there, I am just starting CMC.
Okay. All right.
Don't listen to me. I'm 2-4.
Well, we're dry so far today. No questions. But we're gonna continue on. Well, it's not about that anyway. But the Falcons Bengals. I mean, I almost don't know. Like, if we were just betting on, I don't know who will win. You would take the Bengals. I think, gun to your head.
I would take the Bengals to win this game.
Yeah, they're both 3-3. The Bengals started off pretty rough,
but they've picked it up.
So Falcons. I mean, who do you really start? I mean, I know you're starting Kyle Pitts, but I don't think you feel great about starting it.
I don't feel great about it because he's only gotten 1 touchdown this season.
Yeah. Drake London's probably the best as far as targets.
And Mariota doesn't throw Mariota only threw the ball 12 times last week. He was 11 for 12.
And they don't have the greatest of running game. There's no running back that you
Mariota is the runner.
Yeah.
So with that alone, I would start Mariota.
If you need to stream a quarterback, Mariota might be one on your docket. The Bengals aren't that great defensively. I mean, you start Joe Burrow, you start Jamar Chase. Mixon is I would start him. He's definitely flex. Well. He would definitely start. And kickers.
Other than that,
kickers McPherson and Young Ho Koi.
Young Wei Koo.
Young Wei Koo. I'm sorry, my fault. But I'll start both kickers in that game. Nobody else. Let's move on to the next game. Lions Cowboys.
This is gonna be a fun game, to be honest with you. This is probably the most exciting game out of all the games that we've listed so far.
Yeah, the 1 o'clock, because that's what's so funny. Like the Cowboys, they're 4-2, right? They're supposed to be a much better team than they are, but we all know the Lions could beat them.
Mm-hmm.
These are two teams that will never meet on Thanksgiving, but
and it's Dak's return.
Dak's return. Now they let look. I knew if Dak played, they still would have lost to the Eagles. Like people say, whatever.
Yeah, they would have still
I think
lost.
still lost to the Eagles. So they let Cooper Rush take that L, and Dak needs to come back and win. I would just love for the Lions to win, just so there would be it'd be a week of Dallas burning and controversy. It'd be hilarious. But they might. Jared Goff with a week off. I really like.
Is this game at Dallas or
it is?
It's
in Dallas. In Dallas, 1 o'clock game in Dallas. I don't know if Amon St. Brown is back. Amon
St. Brown did practice. Swift did practice.
Oh, if they got both of them back, it's going to be tough sledding for the Cowboys.
Let me double check St. Brown real quick. But
yeah, Dak is back. He's got Gallup. He's got CD Lamb, and decent line and running game. So hopefully they learn something with Cooper Rush being out. If they're smart, they should just be able to run down the line. Lions have a horrible defense.
Yeah, he is playing.
Yeah, so I would start Dak.
The Lions do have the worst defense in the league.
Yeah, the worst defense in the league. I start Dak. I think I might sit Goff. I might sit
Goff. Is usually
he's been
terrible.
Top 5.
He's usually terrible on the road, but he also is really good indoors, which is,
Cowboys indoors.
I don't know. Does the Cowboys roof open? I think it does, right?
It does.
So they might open it. So I would bench Goff because Dallas's defense is actually pretty decent. It's pretty good.
Look, I don't care that Goff is.
I expect them to bounce back this week defensively after getting fucking destroyed in the first half of against the Eagles.
The Lions don't have as prolific of an offense as the Eagles. Really simple.
No.
And I think they felt embarrassed. Dak will be back. I think they'll be playing with some vigor. I think they should win. Jared Goff, he's a top 5 quarterback, so you would think he's a very good streaming option. If you have nothing else to play, definitely play him. But he is not traditionally a top 10 quarterback. So I always look at him with a little bit of hindrance. Same thing with Geno Smith. He's been playing well, but like every week, I wouldn't be surprised if Geno Smith got me negative points. If Jared Goff got me negative points, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, how could that happen? It's not like, how Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson have been playing the last few weeks where I would be fucking pissed. So, you got to temper your expectations with them. I would start CeeDee Lamb. I might start Zeke. I might start Pollard.
I would start Zeke because Detroit's defense is it's pretty bad.
And he gets a lion's share of the attempts, which is.
I might start both running backs from the.
That's what I said.
Cowboys,
I was thinking about that. If Pollard is the home run, if he hits a home run, he's worth starting and definitely the flex. RB2 for sure. Both of them, I think, are RB2s, but in the flex and RB2, they're both good starting options. Michael Gallup, I think, is a decent flex as well. It might be a high scoring game. Like the Lions have a much better offense than they have defense, but you don't think it's going to be a high scoring game because Dallas is top 5 defense. So I think it'll be it might be a low scoring game. It might be just a running. Definitely start both of the running backs. Start CeeDee Lamb. Temper your expectations on Michael Gallup. And
before we move on to another game, you may have noticed in our league, I traded for Zeke. I traded away Leonard Fournette, and I got back Zeke and Juju. How would you grade that trade?
You said, okay, it's. I mean, it's not a bad trade to me. Like Fournette is RB1 on a low end.
Mm-hmm. He
And
is, and he recently got his first touchdown last week, which made me super super happy because I thought I was going to win last week, and then Justin Herbert fucking laid an egg on Monday Night Football.
It happens, man.
I really needed wide receiver, so
yeah, I'll say
as best as I could get.
Juju is a good flex every week, so not so much a start, but I think Juju it's a good gamble because like Juju came into Kansas City and he doesn't know the offense. As the year goes on, he might start getting like besides Kelsey, I mean, I have to assume he's probably the most talented receiver that they have, like based off of
Valdez Scantling isn't getting the ball, and
Scantling isn't getting it, and Sky Moore's too young, and who's it? Demarcus Robinson? Who's the
no? It's I can't remember one's name. I had him. I drafted him and I dropped him because he has not been getting anything.
Yeah, so I mean, Kelsey's the only person you could trust on the Chiefs. Other than that, it's Scantley's not getting it done, and Sky Moore's not getting it done. So I would think Smith-Schuster, who basically has been dealing with aging Ben Roethlisberger his whole career. I think he, it's a decent trade. That's the gamble you're taking is on Smith-Schuster because you're taking a definitely backseat back for Zeke, and just because it's a possibility, Zeke is always going to be sharing with Pollard. He's touchdown reliant, but
and he's also he does play most of the downs, and he is pretty decent in the receiving game for dump offs and such. So, but Fournette is by far is better in that aspect. But on my team, obviously, I have CMC and I have Dameon Pierce. So
I was about to say because you got
my running backs are strong. So
so because you got Pierce, I just sent out a trade earlier today with Dalvin Cook. I'm waiting to hear back to see what goes on with that. Just because it's like, with the one running back, now for the rest of the season, unless he gets injured, I got Derrick Henry. And behind that, I also still have Stevenson, who I don't think he's going to, even if Damian Harris comes back, I'm pretty sure like finally the Patriots have like a number one running back that they're going to give the ball to. So I definitely
watch Bailey Zappi win a Super Bowl.
That would be funny. That would be so hilarious. I would feel bad for Mac Jones. I'd be like, come on over here. I would take Mac Jones in a second, but but that's exactly why we say Bailey Zappi. It's exactly why I say I want to start Sam Howell, just because you don't know what you have with a rookie until you put him out there. Tom Brady is the greatest example. You don't fucking know until you put him out there, and you could just fucking get lucky, strike gold.
As you say that, we are my Panthers are currently holding the number one draft pick.
And go draft CJ Stroud, buddy.
There's a plethora of wide quarterbacks out there, but the only issue is we have been through this before, right? So
you're gonna get CJ Stroud, buddy.
The year that we were number one, we got Cam Newton, and that was also the year that Andrew Luck was eligible, but he fucking lucked us, and I'm kind of happy that he fucking lucked us because we would have drafted Andrew Luck if he had been there.
Who knows? Maybe Andrew Luck would have kept playing if he didn't go to the things might have kept changing.
CJ Stroud, has that Ohio State pedigree where he's surrounded by top tier wide receivers, and then when Ohio State quarterbacks get to the league, they fucking suck.
Yeah, they suck. That's why
I do not. You know how high I was on Justin Fields last year, and I really wanted him.
Yeah, but, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was on that Ohio State quarterbacks,
and
can't trust them. And I'm staying.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young is small as shit, man. He's fucking 5'11", 190 pounds. So that's another worry.
Yeah.
So But with
All
the
right,
whole
well,
rookie quarterback thing, I I want to see what Matt Corral has, but we
oh
recently
yeah,
drafted him this year in the third round, but he's on IR because he had a plantar fasciitis, which put him out for the season, and that's hard to come back from. So whatever
yeah.
happens, if a new head coach comes in, I think he has his work cut out for him. And if we draft a quarterback, it's
Yeah, he might.
he's done.
Sometimes it's unlucky. Like some people never get their shot. You know,
Mhm.
um, some people just get lucky enough. Like Garoppolo should have never got a shot, but Tom Brady
Yeah.
got injured, so like he should
Or
still be.
that could be it too. We draft Bryce Young, which I think that's who we would draft if we drafted number one, and he comes in and tries to do his heroic thing, and injures himself, and Matt Corral comes in and saves the day, and then there's that. Then we have a future quarterback conjury, and we can trade one of them away.
That is funny, but like, look, let's look at this. Look at the Eagles. He took a chance. Like Jalen Hurts, I don't know how some people like you see these people. And I don't understand how certain teams don't take a chance. All right, he was a second round pick, and then they obviously saw what they had. They were like, okay, it's time to get rid of Carson Wentz. They stayed with one year with that. Like, okay, yeah, we already know eventually this guy's going to be the guy, and you see some of these people. I remember seeing it, early days with Russell Wilson, but I was paying attention to him when he was at NC State and then went to Wisconsin. And I was like, why is he not, a top wide receiver? I mean, so wide receivers, top quarterback. Picked. He's
Yeah,
going in the third
I
round.
always Russell Wilson was great in college, and he had the maneuverability, escapability, and a good arm.
And he's like 5'11", maybe 6 feet.
Yeah, but he's also bulkier though. He's like at least like 210 pounds.
How much bigger is
So
he than Bryce Young? Is he that much bigger?
let me look it up real quick.
I mean, I feel like they're probably, close to the same. So if you can ball, you can ball. It might not last longevity.
He's 5'11", 206.
Okay.
So he's about 15 pounds heavier.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean, so I don't like looking too much as in the quarterbacks for the height or whatever. You can ball or you can't. I mean, I still have a little bit of love for Kyler Murray. He's a little motherfucker, and hopefully he can get things done. I've seen some crazy plays done by him, so I'm not worried about the height issue. Like I said, Carson Wentz is the perfect. He's 6'5" and he has a rocket arm, and like all those intangibles. I don't care about. Can you play the position or fucking not? I don't care what your height is or those things. So let's continue on, man. We're still in the 1:00 game. So Giants, Jaguars.
Saquon, start Saquon.
Shit, I'll say streaming on Daniel Jones. I already know firsthand, like Jaguars defense is suspect.
And you know what surprises me? The Giants have the number one fantasy pass defense.
Really? Oh wow. So
yes,
stay away from Christian Kirk. I
stay
don't think
away from Christian Kirk. Stay away from Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has really fallen off over the last few weeks.
I don't know who you start for the Jaguars. Maybe James Robinson.
James Robinson.
And that's about it. All right.
Maybe Travis Etienne, but those are all flex guys.
All right. Colts Titans.
The only game of the week with teams over 500.
Oh wow, that's funny. 2 teams over 500. Colts, Pittman. I don't even know. Maybe
oh
Ryan.
My gosh, did you see what Pittman did last week?
I know. After we told people he's not reliable, I still don't think he's reliable. He's gonna have certain weeks just because I don't think Matt Ryan is reliable. So he's gonna have.
I think Matt Ryan will come back down to earth this week playing against Tennessee, which has a much better defense.
Much better defense. They're coming off a bye. They're gonna be rested. So Tennessee's obviously going to run the ball. So I don't know. Do you start Tannehill as a good streaming option? What do you think?
No, I would just start Derrick Henry.
Yeah, No wide receivers. Ain't nothing else but Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Bro.
no wide receiver.
I don't see anybody else.
I would steer away from Matt Ryan this week, but Michael Pittman I would start because he gets fed the ball.
Yep. Okay.
Jonathan Taylor should be back this week. I
okay.
got the
Definitely start him because
yeah.
look, that is a rivalry. They're gonna both be running as hard as they can.
Mhm.
It's the same division, and they're both basically year to year trying to be the best running back in the league. So hopefully there'll be a good amount of yards, and I'll get 30 or more points against you with Derrick Henry. All right.
Oh no! Go Colts!
Go Colts! Go Colts defense! Yeah, Derrick Henry's coming for you this week. The King is coming. I need him. The King has
Darius Leonard stuffed that hole.
I know. What you should pray for is a bunch of Dante Hilliard passing touchdowns. That's a motherfucker that always ruins Derrick Henry. Like, they throw the ball to Hilliard on one play.
I had the fantasy pick up the week last week with Deion Jackson, backup running back for the Colts. Man,
yeah.
22 points on fantasy. Cut this week though.
yeah. Those are those ones you look at. I've been looking at this tight end thing like all day. Like, okay,
I was looking at you this morning, man.
There's one tight end out there that's gonna score like 20. But I just one of them is gonna do it. There's always one on that list. It's like, can you pick the fucking right one? It's like
who's your pick again? Oh, Otten.
Yeah, I just picked Otten because I'm just going with Tom Brady.
We're pretty terrible against covering tight ends.
Yeah. So Brady's out, and that's pretty much all that they have. And so I'm sorry him. All right, let's get down to Jets Broncos.
Do not start any Jets wide receivers because Zach Wilson doesn't throw the ball very much. Do start Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, the rookie of the year so far to me. Shit. He's doing a lot of great things.
Russell Wilson, I think, injured his hamstring or something at the end of the game on Monday night. So
he injured his ego. And
I'm not sure what his status is going to be for Sunday. Currently he's questionable.
Is Garrett Wilson still out?
He is playing. He's been playing.
Okay.
He's just, Zach Wilson doesn't target him. Zach Wilson mainly targets Corey Davis.
Yeah, I mean, I like Zach Wilson. I had him for a second, but he's playing a bunch of good defenses coming up. The Broncos is still a good defense. I would hope Russell Wilson doesn't stay on this trajectory of being terrible, but I mean, he's got to prove it. At this point, Geno Smith is playing twice as good as he was last year. And
so until Russell Wilson starts turning it around, it's really hard to start any of the.
You can't start anybody in the Broncos except for
Broncos wide receivers.
Start the kicker. Start the kicker. That's about it. I will start the kicker. Maybe the defense because the Jets ain't like high powered, but that's about it. All right. Texans Raiders coming off the bye. The Texans. I hate Brandon Cooks. I'll never tell anybody to start.
Damian Pierce is the only lock on that team to start.
Damian Pierce. Yeah, I wouldn't start it. Not even the kicker, not the defense.
All right, so we got the Damian Pierce and
Devontae Adams. I would, you got to start him. You can't.
Texas defense is actually decent, but I would start. Yeah.
You still got
Devontae. Did he get suspended?
I don't think he did for being the guy. Okay. Not yet. So Devontae's still in. I would definitely start Josh Jacobs.
Yes, Josh Jacobs.
I mean, tight ends are always slim, so you got to start Waller.
Even though he's been struggling this season.
Yeah, you still got to start Waller. And that's about it. Hunter Renfrow, he had been injured for a few weeks. Yeah, and then when he came back, he hasn't done much. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Raiders. I don't like Derek Carr. Some people I'm sure have him rostered, but they're not going to start him. I wouldn't expect them to. Yeah, definitely wouldn't expect them to start him. Seahawks Chargers. Geno Smith.
The Chargers defense, I don't know, man. They have been so up and down this year, but on paper, they have such a good defense. Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Josh Jackson.
You said the
Um,
Seahawks? You mean
no, the
the
Chargers.
Chargers?
The
Yeah.
Chargers defense has been like on paper, they have a really good defense, but half the time they don't show up.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I would start Kenneth Walker,
Yeah, I would definitely
a
start
running
him.
back.
Yeah.
DK
DK
got shut
Metcalf,
out last week. He
yeah.
got shut out last week.
I would still start him. I mean, you still start DK Metcalf. You can't bench him.
I wouldn't start Gino. I would start Justin Herbert.
You would?
I don't think Keenan Allen's gonna be back this week. But
I mean, it's so crazy. You know, I mean, Keenan Allen is a Pro Bowler, prolific, and he's a good player, but like you would think Justin Herbert will be able to make a few things happen. So all right, I guess you don't start Justin Herbert. It's hard for me to say, bench him, but streaming options are out there, and I don't trust any quarterback. I think every quarterback just about can be streamed outside of what. There's only two. There's Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. That's it. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, maybe Jalen Hurts. But other than that, every other one you can bench them based off of
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler. You know what? That's a good call. Austin Eckler is definitely a starter for this game, and you can't bench him either. So, that's it for them. Tyler Lockett on the low end flex, but the Chargers defense is going to continue to get better. I don't know when J.C. Jackson is coming back, but they started off injured, and I assume they're getting healthier. But it's only sooner or later before Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa start wreaking real havoc.
Right? Because on paper, they look so good.
Okay, Super Bowl rematch. A couple years back, Chiefs 49ers. Chiefs 49ers. 49ers have a really good defense.
They have the number one defense in the league.
Yeah, they have a very good defense.
But they lost to the Falcons last week. What was that?
Yeah, and they have
you know what the answer is Jimmy Garoppolo.
10, bottom 10 offense. And I hated people saying that, they were giving Trey Lance shit, but he only got to play 2 games. He was still technically a rookie, and people were like, oh, well, there were a lot of 49ers fans I thought were happy that Jimmy Garoppolo was back in the starting lineup because, they weren't trusting Trey Lance, but you know where you're going to go with Garoppolo. You know what the ceiling
You know what you're going to get.
This is technically getting starting Trey Lance.
The defense will have to carry Garoppolo. So
yeah, started this is essentially Alex Smith Kaepernick to me again. Like Trey Lance is young Kaepernick, and you're trying to keep Garoppolo in there, who's just like this kind of check downy slant guy, and game manager. But Trey Lance has the ability to break open a game, which same thing Kaepernick did before he started kneeling. And as far as winning a Super Bowl, I would think Trey Lance would have given him a better chance. So hopefully, next year, I feel bad for that guy. So next year he'll have the chance. But that being said, I don't start anybody in the front. I don't start Wilson. I guess you got to start George Kittle. That's about it. I don't know. 49ers.
Maybe Debo, but
sorry, Debo. Right, fire. So, Debo and Kittle. You got to start.
I think I would start Debo over Kittle if I had the choice.
Absolutely. But
Debo, as far as Kansas City, obviously you start Mahomes, you start Kelsey. Those are always 2 must starts every week, regardless of matchup.
It's hard to slate. Other than that, you like what? Edwards-Helaire, maybe Juju, but I
don't even want to start Juju, and I just required him. But he has a bye next week, so I want to use him.
You might want to use him because,
all the attention is going to Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey's the number 1 receiver. Even though wherever Juju is, I think Scantling is technically the number 1. Juju, Juju's in the slot, right?
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. Like the Juju could be. He could be
Mahomes does spread the ball around though. So.
Yeah, he could be he could be a fullback for all I know. Like it doesn't matter. Like Andy Reid is such a genius. It doesn't matter what these people are. So, yeah, I wouldn't start personally. I wouldn't start Juju. Yeah, they're gonna come out playing well. I know the Bills' defense is good, but Chiefs just lost. I assume they're going to show out and probably beat the 49ers. So I wouldn't even start the 49ers defense. I might start the Chiefs. I would start the Chiefs defense over the 49ers defense. Is that controversial?
No, mainly because Jimmy Garoppolo is prone to making mistakes and fumbling the ball or throwing the ball into
but the 49ers
triple coverage.
49ers are technically the number one defense.
They are.
So
but I wouldn't say it's crazy because Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I would start the Chiefs for sure. I would start the Chiefs against Garoppolo before I would feel comfortable about starting any defense. Forget the 49ers, any defense against the Chiefs. I would feel awkward about it. Like, oh God, I don't have any better options. Nothing. Like, there's no. Yeah. So I'm not gonna fuck around with them. All right, 2 more games left. 3 more games actually. Packers, Commanders.
Oh yeah, that's who you guys are playing this week.
Yep, it's the Packers. Start Aaron Rodgers. That's what I would do. We have
You sure about that?
We have a horrible back end. We have a good front four. This might be the week. Personally,
Is the game at Lambeau?
Yes, it's no, it's in FedEx. So the game's in FedEx. I believe Chase Young, this should be his first game back. But Will Jackson, we're trying to trade, and we have no other cornerbacks. Will Jackson's man. I don't want to play.
That's tough. I honestly can't get on starting the Aaron Rodgers train because he has no wide receivers. Randall Cobb is out. From what I hear, Romeo Doubs is basically his best wide receiver. Christian Watson is Christian Watson dropping balls.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
Robert Tonyan is his best.
What's his name? Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins on IR. So he has no wide receivers. The best wide receivers on the team is Aaron Jones.
Yeah, you're right.
So I
mean, Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard is the best, probably. But
there you go.
Yeah, Alan Lazard. But yeah, start Alan Lazard for sure. He'll fucking score. I guarantee he'll score a touchdown. The goddamn Commanders.
Start Aaron Jones too.
Start Aaron Jones. I would start I would start Dobbs. I might start Tonyan. Like the tight end, we have the worst fucking linebackers.
You're going all out.
the linebackers are only decent against the run. They can't fucking cover anybody. They can't fucking cover a bed. Like I would start tight ends. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Start Aaron Rodgers. I assume he'll have a decent game, especially
Commander's side. Start McLaurin.
Start McLaurin. Maybe
is Dotson back?
No.
I heard he was practicing this week, but
I don't think he's back yet. He's still dealing with the hamstring. So no Curtis Samuel. I think Logan Thomas might be back.
So it says that Dotson returned to practice today as a limited participant. So he at least practiced.
Okay. So I mean, he can be out
there.
So
he may be back, but the only commander I would probably start is McLaurin, even though he's had a shitty start to the season.
Yeah, but I think the Packers are still a top 10 defense as well. So, I mean,
but we also know that Heineke is a gunslinger and he will force the ball into any.
That's true, and I would say that. I was gonna say that. Like, do you think Heineke is a streaming option? Because
no, I don't think so. But
he's he's playing against Rodgers. He's a Packer, like Brett Favre type of fan. Like, he rises to the occasion just like he did against Tom Brady. But
I still think there would be better quarterback streaming options out there.
That's possible. All right, you want to side bet? Who had more? Who had more fantasy points this week? Taylor Heineke or Marcus Mariota?
I would still go with Marcus Mariota.
All right, I'll take Heineke.
So like looking in our league, these are the quarterbacks that are on in the free agent list: Daniel Jones, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson.
I had to cut Wilson.
Ryan Tannehill, Kenny Pickett, Jacoby Brissett, Mac Jones. Taylor Heineke is like down there where he's projected to get 14 points this week. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're projecting him to get that, but Heineke, like you said, because he's a slinger, like he might get a couple interceptions, but he's going. Like it is the thing. It's possible we're going into a game. I know Wentz might not throw a touchdown. He might throw 4, but he might not throw 1. Like Taylor Heineke always scores a touchdown. He's
definitely more mobile, so he might get a rushing touchdown out of there somehow. He's
going to get a touchdown. I think he probably get multiple. I don't think they can beat the Packers. They'll probably still lose to the Packers. So, we're tipping our expectations here, like 17 or 24-27 loss. Like, because I feel like our defensive line is good. I'm hoping Chase Young has partially the type of impact that Marcus Parsons has. I would just hope. I need him to come back and start having that type of thing. So, yeah. And Terry McLaurin, and that's it. What? I mean, maybe, long scale, like Brian Robinson, who I know that he's basically they're making the number one, running back. So maybe he'll get goal line touches. But yeah, that's it, man. Terry McLaurin. Last two, Steelers Dolphins.
That's the Sunday night game.
Sunday night game. Steelers Dolphins. Tua's back. It's Kenny Pickett coming off. Kenny Pickett is cleared to play, so no more.
He is cleared to play.
Yep. And coming off, I guess his first victory, if you call it with that, you could call it that, because since he started. And Tua's back. I think the Dolphins get back on the run they were on.
I think so too. So most definitely you start their wide receivers. Tyreek.
Start Tyreek. Waddle. Start Waddle.
Do you start Gesicki after the week he had last week?
No. I mean, look, like backups always target the tight ends more because
that's true.
So no, I mean, Tua likes throwing to our. That's how he started in Alabama. He had fucking Waddle and other fucking cheetahs and hyenas and lions and tigers. He had all the fucking fast cats, and he likes to go to the wide receiver. That's why this is the reason why Gesicki wasn't doing anything until Backus came in. So no, not Gesicki. Just Waddle, Hill, maybe.
Do you start Tua?
Yeah, I'll start Tua. I think
hopefully he makes out of the game and not get hit like that.
Oh yeah, again. No, I think he could have played last week, and I think he's fine. Like if there's an issue, like then like if something else happens with Tua, like he's got to retire. It's basically like
if something happens to him, he has
now. So I'm like betting on the fact that concussions is they're going to make a quarterback retire early in his career. So I think it was maybe just bad coincidences that it happened. So I mean I don't think he probably should have played that week. And that's definitely, he was still tender. So, I think he'll play fine. And, I would trust him going forward until he proves that, he can't do it.
So Pittsburgh side. So
This
since Kenny Pickett is back,
um
do you start Chase Claypool?
no, Claypool is more for Trubisky.
Chase
Like,
Claypool he has gotten so many like different, or he's gotten more volume over the last 2 or 3 weeks, mainly because of Pickett. So looking at his, or over his last 2 weeks, he's gotten a total of 16 targets over the last 2 weeks.
mm, okay, that's not too bad. All right, so we got another question here. Hey guys, all right. Should I trade James Conner and Judy for Najee Harris and DJ Moore?
James Conner and Jerry Jeudy for
Najee
Najee
Harris.
Harris and DJ Moore.
I would say yes.
I would also say yes, because Najee Harris is a top 8 running back prospect initially, and I know that he's been down to start the season, but he's only going to get better. DJ is a fellow Panther fan. He's going to turn it around. When Sam Darnold comes back, he's going to get his numbers back. I don't think he's going to get his 5th 1,000-yard season in a row, but I would expect DJ to get out of that rut, especially now with Robbie out of the picture and it's just him and CMC. He'll get the ball more once Sam gets back.
Yeah, it's probably at least 3 or 4 more targets a game for him without, Robbie Anderson being there. So, I mean, DJ is him and CMC are going to take the lion's share of it. I mean, you got to worry about the quarterback situation there. But, I mean, as far as like Russell Wilson's going from, all these things we've been hearing, I can't trust Jerry Jeudy. I mean,
neither can I.
I can't trust Jerry Jeudy. Connor, to me, is the big.
James Conner is reliant on red zone touches, and
he is. But I also believe, like, with that offense, there's going to be a good amount. So, like, I like the James Conner going forward, because with Hopkins, with Robbie Anderson, with Hollywood Brown, with Zach Ertz, like, they're gonna generate offense, and
they will.
Right. They're gonna be in the red zone, and red zone.
But everybody's gonna want to eat, right? So
yeah, but look, you say everybody wants.
DeAndre Hopkins is going to be your number 1 target in the red zone. And if it's not DeAndre Hopkins, it's gonna be Kyler Murray's little legs.
That's what I say. If you're throwing, yeah. If you're throwing, your number 1 option is that. But once you get inside the 15 or 10, like, it's putting running backs to get 8-yard touchdowns or 12-yard touch. Like, when you get close down there, running backs get touches. Now, like, Kyler Murray is going to touch the ball every play, but, maybe 1, maybe 2 of those plays might go to DeAndre, or might go to Hollywood Brown, or might go to Zach Ertz. I just think it's a guarantee when you're in the red zone that they're going to hand off the ball at least once. So that's why I was saying James Conner, because he's dependent on the red zone, and that's where they use him at, is because they really don't, unless Kyler Murray does some crazy shit and he's, running around, making stuff happen, he's not throwing the perfect fade pass or perfect slant or whatever. That every time he scores in the red zone is because the play broke down and somebody got open. Like, he's not the greatest vision quarterback to me. So, I would still take the Najee Harris, DJ Moore as Pickett keeps going. He's a rookie quarterback. They're gonna probably run the ball more, and Najee Harris not being. If he doesn't start playing well, like later in the season, he's really a complete bust, because shit. I mean, running backs only have such a short life. Like, he's like Todd Gurley could at least, play 2 or 3 good seasons. So yeah, I want, Najee Harris, he has a lot of fucking work to do. All right. To the end here, Bears Patriots.
That's the Monday night game.
Monday night game, Bears Patriots.
Mac Jones will be back, so there's no more Bailey Zappi. That's a cool name, Bailey Zappi.
It's exactly what I was about to pick up Hunter Henry because, with Zappy in, he was actually giving him
He's getting
targets.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I realized like Mac Jones is back. Like, oh shit, the ball's not gonna go around as much. I mean, maybe I mean, you can't trust Devontae Parker. Jacoby Myers, you're starting him against me. I cut him weeks ago.
He is their best wide receiver. He is their most consistent wide receiver.
I think their best.
I'm still debating on whether to start him because Chicago's defense is sus. But with Mac Jones being back, he does spread the ball around. Bailey Zappi was getting them the ball.
I mean, personally, I think their best receiver is Devontae Parker. I just think like veteran wise and route running, I think he's better than Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers might be more athletic, but Devontae Parker's proven to me, for different seasons that he's a great route runner and a good catch.
He's totally underrated.
Completely. I think I think I put him in the same realm as Jarvis Landry.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's probably their best receiver, but Mac Jones or Zappy could really.
He's just always been hurt too.
Yeah,
Devontae.
Yeah, he was hurt a lot in Miami, and that's probably why they didn't feel like giving him that big contract, and he had to go where he could go to the Patriots, and yeah, he's being underutilized. Jonnu Smith's probably being underutilized. Hunter Henry. I'll see what Mac Jones does. Mac Jones wasn't too bad. Mac Jones was averaging, about 16, 18 fantasy points a week. He had a couple games over 20 before he, got injured. So he's a decent streaming option. And I would say he's a good streaming option for this week. The Bears are bad defense. The Bears,
they are a bad defense that you guys could not take advantage of.
Yes. So
you guys did take advantage of. Well, you guys won, but you guys didn't take. You guys did not take advantage of.
Carson. That's what I was about to say. That just shows how horrible Carson Wentz is as a fucking quarterback. That, like he only had like 100 yards passing, against the Bears, and the Bears is a horrible. It was like watching two teams trying their best to lose a game. Like, how do we lose a game? How do we get better draft position? It's like, and then somebody fumbled a goddamn punt, and without the fumble punt, the Commanders don't have another win. I mean, and I kind of don't want to win. Like, if I'm being a Commanders fan, which, like I said, they're secondary now, and as time goes on, I'll be less and less. I'll care less. But the best thing that they could do is get a top 5 pick, and like I said, hopefully Sam Howell is decent. We're not going to know yet, but if we don't get a top 5, a quarterback that we think could be of the future, then we need to get if we're in the top 5, top 10, definitely top 10. But I think we can be the top 5 and get we need a lineman, man. We have no fucking line. Like, people are like, oh, Kirk Cousins, he was a great quarterback. And I was like, yeah, well, Kirk Cousins at that time when he was with us, he had, Deshaun Jackson and Garcon. He had good receivers, but he also had Trent Williams and Brandon Sheriff, 2 players that for 4 years in a row were Pro Bowlers off the same fucking team. Trent Williams hasn't missed a Pro Bowl where he played the entire season. He's been in a Pro Bowl every single year. And Brandon Sheriff is a 5-time. He played 6 years and was to the Pro Bowl 5 times. So that left side had 2 Pro Bowlers on it. And now we have none. And not even a Pro Bowl. Not even somebody can sniff the Pro Bowl. We barely have starters. Like, I can't even name half of the people that are on our line. So, I mean, that's why Carson Wentz can't do anything. That's why we can't run the ball.
So then that's also a Ron Rivera negative trait right there. He is loyal to a team.
Defense.
He is loyal to a team. So like half your offensive line is former Carolina Panthers offensive line retreads. offensive coordinator, a Panther retread. He's terrible, by the way. Scott Turner is probably one of the worst play callers in the league. I saw it here, or I saw it with us, and now you guys are witnessing it firsthand. And I'm pretty sure you guys have gotten sick of Ron Rivera's blank stare more often than not in his after game press conferences and saying missed opportunities and whatnot. I do like that he did get fired up defending what's it called? Carson Wentz after that quarterback comment, him like stepping out and like basically cursing out the media.
Yeah, but that's just, to me, it shows he's cracking and he knows like this is it. So I'm like,
he knows the pressure is on.
Why are you starting like pressure's on? Start Taylor Heineke again? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you know, like maybe he's getting better because Taylor Heineke, technically that was his rookie season, right? You know, we can go all back to technicalities. He never had a full season. So last year it was that, but he didn't show no promise that a good rookie showed to think that in his technically sophomore season that he's going to play better. You know, now there's just a whole bunch of tape out on him, and I'm sure people know how to shut him down. So, having Heineke is not going to save your job. You're just going to keep Heineke with a job. Like, Heineke is going to be a backup quarterback longer than Ron Rivera will be, you know, have a job in the NFL. Maybe he could get a defensive coordinator job again, but this is basically it at head coach if he doesn't make something miraculous happen. And the only way something miraculous happens is if a quarterback ascends to, you know, or show some type of promise. I don't get it. Maybe he's starting Heineke just for this week, and he'll be like, fuck it, I got to, because Sam Howell, same thing as Darnold, Howell has been on IR, and he just came off this week. I don't know his real ailment. I actually don't know why he was injured, but he was on IR for the first 6 weeks, and this is the first week back eligible. So maybe that's why they're starting Heineke, because Howell isn't fully healthy yet. But I hope Wentz is injured for the entire season, and both of his thumbs fall off, and he fucking.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind. He's getting $28 million for sucking.
But this is his. But this is his last contract. After this, he's basically signed for veteran league minimum. He's on his not even Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick has a better career than fucking Carson Wentz, but he's on his, moving around, being the backup quarterback. Like, and
the best journeyman there was.
Well, yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick for sure. We still might see him. I don't think we've seen the last of Fitzpatrick. I think we might see him, at this point during the year, at the end of the year. It's still early. We haven't, for a significant period of time, lost a quarterback. But if I'm still seeing Andy Dalton, it's crazy for me to think I won't see fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, so
we made it through all the games this week.
We made it through all the games. I think we did. I think we did last week as well. We just had a few more people asking questions.
All right.
Oh wait, we got another one. Okay, training Jeff Wilson and Mike Williams for David Montgomery and Jerry Jeudy. Am I crazy?
Oof.
Said he's got Mahomes, Mixon, Cooper, Herbert, and Aaron Jones. David Montgomery is nerfed a little bit because, they have Khalil Herbert and, of course, Justin Fields, so that offense is always nerfed. But it's about the same thing as Jeff Wilson. It's about even to me, but I think you are. I think you are getting. I think you. Yeah, I wouldn't do this trade. You're getting a little fleeced. Jerry Jeudy, like I said, we said earlier, we don't believe in Jerry Jeudy being, doing anything because Russell Wilson is just really not proving anything. David Montgomery is with a offense that I don't trust. Jeff Wilson has upside because the 49ers, we've seen them rely on the run game and basically not Jimmy Garoppolo. So it's possible Jeff Wilson might have a decent year. And Mike Williams,
Mike Williams has been very inconsistent with Keenan Allen being out.
Absolutely. But the second Keenan Allen
comes back, Mike Williams' numbers will go up.
Yeah.
So I would say hang on to what you got.
Okay. Hey guys, love the show. Should I bench A-Rod for Love? Honest answer. And you fucking laughed. For who? For who? What, Kevin Love? Are we talking about basketball now? What Love? Jordan Love? No, you don't fucking bench air. No. Yeah, you preferably murder Aaron Rodgers first so you don't have to pay his salary, and then you start Jordan Love. You don't just fucking bench him. That's a lose-lose. Like, I mean.
So wait. Matt LaFleur, is that you on the line? Are you asking this question?
Yeah, is it Matt LaFleur? It's like, dude,
are you trying to get advice from us on if you should bench A-Rod and put in Jordan Love? Because the answer is still no.
Matt LaFleur, I think if you want to do anything, I think you should pull Ime Udoka and maybe fuck Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend or something. Maybe have the clout for that. I think if you did that, or maybe told Aaron Rodgers he couldn't do ayahuasca again, you maybe have some type of power over him. But yeah, you fucking can't. Jordan Love is never going to start. Is over. The second they gave Aaron Rodgers all that fucking money last year, like so much money that Devontae Adams wouldn't stay. And like, when they gave
maybe next year, all right, because Aaron Rodgers is going to retire at the end of this year.
I don't think so. Like, that'll be fine. If you're retired, he will leave a bunch of money on the table. Like, he has a guaranteed contract, but it is not actually guaranteed if you retire early. So like,
hey, he could always pull a Favre.
I mean, yeah, like, where do we go? Like,
or Brady.
And this is where I feel bad for the Broncos. Like, I feel
he's really not committed to any woman.
Yeah. He might be gay for all I know. Brokeback Aaron. But I feel bad for the Broncos because the Broncos for sure thought they were getting Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Packers quarterbacks coach is the actual coach of the fucking Broncos right now.
Yes.
So like they
were Hackett.
Yeah, Hackett. They just assume Aaron Rodgers would be there. I'm calling the plays. I'm the fucking head coach. Don't worry about that. That's what they were assuming. Like Peyton Manning was. Like when Peyton Manning got to Denver, they're like, he's the fucking head coach. Like, it don't matter. We'll figure all the rest of that shit out. But Hackett's there. They think Aaron Rodgers coming, and that falls through. And then they basically give up everything: first round, second rounds, fifth rounds, players to the fucking Broncos for Russell Wilson, only to have Geno Smith be better. The fuck, like, and I just feel bad because they thought maybe it would have been better with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, with John Elway, and they would have, I think, been Love. Maybe he would have figured it out. Maybe Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton would be, more viable fantasy players with Aaron Rodgers. We'll never know. But because they couldn't get Aaron Rodgers, they just pulled the trigger on fucking Russell Wilson, and it was it was a bad fucking decision. Absolutely. But other than that, man, you have any you have any advice to give the fans here about lock it down? you know, if for some reason Kenneth Walker or other people are out there, go pick them up.
I doubt Kenneth Walker is out on any waiver wire right now.
Yeah, no,
After
probably not. Not after last week. He would definitely be great ones to pick up.
It's kind of tight.
Anybody to trade for? Like I said, like, you know, maybe, you know, I don't care about wide receiver.
Trading is probably the hardest part of fantasy because there's, you know, people who always want to fleece you or, you know, make the deal better for their end. Like after I traded for Zeke, and getting Juju for Fournette, someone offered me the Bucks defense for Zeke. I'm like, what?
The Bucks defense.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, trades are hard, you know, unless you have like an offer like in front of you. That kind of advice is, you know, it's tough. As far as waiver wire though,
I don't know. This is funny.
It's still kind of hard because, like, you know,
you know who asked that? I seriously didn't even notice until like after the part. I was like, wait a second. Did I tell people? You know, asked, should we start Love over Rodgers?
Who was it?
Sandy. That's hilarious. That's so funny. But yeah. Well, Sandy, if you didn't notice, sometimes we have other people asking us fantasy questions. So, you know, I took yours as a real one. Like, no, but no, we didn't. I said, who's starting Aaron Rodgers over Love? Will never fucking start. He'll never start. I don't think.
I still think once Aaron Rodgers retires, the Packers will draft a new quarterback because Jordan Love is trash.
Yeah, if he was any good.
But as far as waiver wire pickups,
look, how are we not supposed to know? I'm sorry, Twan's not looking at the chat, but how are we not supposed to know it's you when your face is on your fucking profile with a big Packers shirt? She's like, you were supposed to know. No, blow the cover. I got out of here. Well, tell people some more about it. You know, if they need some fantasy advice, but we'll try to be more hilarious as we go on this in these years. Oh, what were we about to ask?
Who, me?
Yeah, you said so.
No, I was gonna say if you guys are looking for any waiver wire advice for this week, I'm not sure on most leagues if he's out there. But Tyler Algier, the running back from Atlanta.
Okay.
But I would say, you know, proceed with caution with him because Marcus Mariota is the primary running back now that Cordarrelle Patterson is not, you know, active and he's on IR. As far as running back, it's tough. Like, it's very slim pickings.
Running backs are slim pickings.
As always, should be.
It is.
Wide receiver wise, guys like Corey Davis should be on a lot of what's it called, waiver wires. Corey Davis is Zach Wilson's number one target when he's in. When Joe Flacco was in, it was Corey Davis just got pushed to the wayside. Another guy you might want to look out for this week is Mac Hollins of the Vegas Raiders.
Okay. I had a few weeks ago.
Maybe Marquez Callaway from the Saints, since the Saints have
because everybody's injured,
numerous injuries on that front.
Well, I will say then DJ Chark.
He is definitely on the waiver wire for some leagues.
Guarantee he is on the waiver wire, definitely. And I don't have any. Oh, the person we were thinking about earlier for the Chiefs is Mecole Hardman, the guy who can't get it done.
He's a very, very extremely poor man's Tyreek Hill. He's like below trash for Tyreek Hill, basically. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, there's nobody else. Yeah, there's
And
nobody
if
else
you're
I would
looking for a
suggest.
defense to start this week,
Okay.
the Giants would be a good one. They're probably on most waiver wires. What's it called? The Titans, I think, are on most waiver wires. And that's it, maybe.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I would probably, I would say, deep fantasy leagues. I probably go with the Raiders. They're playing. I when I
Oh yeah, the
choose,
Raiders too. Yeah, they are playing Houston. That's a good
yeah,
call.
yeah. Like I go off of horrible offenses, is like because most defenses are, they're more mediocre and around the same. There are some better defenses, but usually it's really bad offenses that are gonna turn over the ball. So yeah, I would say the Raiders.
By the way, New Orleans is trending to starting Andy Dalton this week since they have Thursday night. So maybe the Cardinals would be a good streaming option for defense too.
Yeah, I would say that. You never know. Look, I'm always up for stream a defense on Thursday night. Thursday night football games suck balls. Nobody ever scores, and it's fucking boring.
I'm up for streaming a defense every fucking week. So,
well, yeah, I say, yeah, same thing. I'm up for streaming a defense, and I'm above for streaming the quarterback every week if you can. But streaming the defense is right there next to it. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I would definitely, I would look into that. It's not like because this Thursday night is just always a dud. So, if you look at the last 4 Thursday night defense, like both teams last week, both teams scored 17 points on defense in our league. This is how bad it was. Like, yes. That was the Commanders. But before that, the week before that, it was like 20 points and 14 points. It was just like it's just always a shit show on Thursday night. It's always a muff punt or a fumble or interception. It's just everybody's unprepared. So yeah, I would, if you have nobody, start the Cardinals for sure. Andy Dalton or Taysom Hill as not scaring me. Taysom Hill had his one good game of the year, and it won't happen again, I don't think. And if you were crazy enough to start Taysom Hill at tight end that week where you scored 36 points, kudos to you.
Kudos to you. You are fantasy manager of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Like nobody had fucking Taysom Hill starting. Like, that. Last thing I would say as far as a streaming wide receiver, maybe Mooney, Daryl Mooney for the Bears.
He is picking it up.
He's their best receiver. But
he's their only receiver.
He's the only receiver, but the Patriots have been mauling people. I don't trust anybody. Like their defense, I picked their defense up last week. They scored like 24 points, and I'm going to continue with their defense. They have been beating the shit out of people.
And if you guys are looking for a tight end option, streaming wise, Daniel Bellinger, the New York Giants tight end, he's been getting a lot of.
I was looking at him.
Attention from Daniel Jones. I've seen a fair amount of Giants games because of Red Zone this year, and I actually started him a couple weeks ago, and he got me like 11 points, and he got more points last week too. But he's a solid safety option if your tight end is on a bye.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it from us with the Fantasy Suckers.
Wednesday nights.
I would say don't listen to us. Yeah, 8:39ish. I would say don't listen to us because we suck, but we are entertaining, and that's what we'll continue to try to be for the rest of the year. Asking you questions every Wednesday. I almost feel like Wednesday's the day after the waiver wire, but it's okay. You still need.
Wednesday is when everybody is free agents.
Yes, it's when everybody's free agents. You don't use your, you're not using your waiver order, so. That's when I'm gonna bring you all the information. See you guys next week. It was fun. Damn, man.
Same time, same place.
Yeah, another hour and a half. Sorry, Camilla.
No, it was good. She's asleep.
All right. Yeah, cool. All right, man.